We just have a follow-up question from Josh on Facebook, and he asks, oftentimes youth have questions and struggle with lack of self-esteem, but I have a hard time with quite the opposite, pride. How can I drive my feelings of pride aware, especially when I often receive high praises from my peers?
Great question.
Well, if you enjoy that too much, then it's probably a little bit over the top. But this must be a person that does a lot of things well, just like this young woman that we answered her question. She does a lot of things well. But when you let it control you, and you miss opportunities to grow in other ways and to serve and to expand yourself and to get outside of your comfort zone of things you do well, then you're not allowing yourself the kind of growth that you need to grow and mature and become what you want to and need to become. I don't know if that made sense, what I'm trying to say or not.
This was a young man, is that right? I have an invitation for him. If he'll read in the Pearl of Great Price, Moses has an experience, and following that experience, he says, and now I know that man is nothing, which thing I never before had supposed. I think that's a pretty good example of humility. Question, what happened to Moses? Now, this young man, if he'll go dig that out and find it, if he's asking, seeking, knocking, acting, in the very pattern of searching for that answer, the Holy Ghost will tutor him about what it means to be humble. Second example, Nephi says, "O wretched man that I am." And he laments. Now, Nephi is about as good as anybody can be, but he's lamenting his own limitation and weakness. What was going on with Nephi when that happened? Now, those are two examples for this young man. You have to read the entire episode to understand how Nephi came to the point where he said, "O wretched man that I am." I would invite this young man to study those two episodes and then find others where people go from being prideful to humble. And if he's willing to do that, if he's willing to dig to find those stories and the lessons that we can glean from them, then as a servant of the Lord, I can promise that specific young man that the Holy Ghost will help him individually in ways he can't imagine to learn how to overcome pride.